Milan. And for several years, I've been doing traveling gymnastics displays. This is some placards that I have together that show you the history of gymnastics, starting in Egypt and Babylon and moving around to the modern day gymnastics. As you see, I bring some apparatus with me for people to see the evolution of gymnastics equipment. You can see here the way the gymnasts used to perform on the horses, and they had more realistic horses, and they had all kinds of apparatus that wasn't in a form of competition. But as we've gone around and learned the history of gymnastics, I'm going to show you the modern day founders of the modern day gymnastics. Per Hendrik Ling was famous for creating Swedish gymnastics. Frederick Ludwig John started German gymnastics that included apparatus and hand apparatus. And Dr. Miroslav Kirsch from the Czechoslovakian region of Europe had expanded the interpretation of gymnastics basically to use any sport. And they had huge festivals with 40,000 people on the field at one time. I've collected in my time going to Olympic Games over 270 Olympic signatures on paintings. I want people to see these paintings and find their favorite gymnasts. I have rings and other apparatus. I've collected many Olympic torches and Gymnastics Federation pins. I have over 15,000 pins that I would like to share with people to see the different opportunities you have to collect. And this is an area where people can actually hold the Olympic torches and have an inspiration to someday be a part of the Olympic Games. As we move around a little bit more, I show more of the awards that were given a long time ago. That were traveling awards or awards that were on a yearly basis. You see apparatus we don't see anymore with Indian clubs and with little rings that they would do as hand apparatuses for exercise. They used to use gymnastic shoes and tumbling. We've got those. More of an education for kids. You see these Indian clubs that we don't use. These are called teaches. The instructors used to count to the rhythm for exercise, and they go ras, va, furi, chitiri. And that's they use this, and that was called a teach. But you can hear and see all these placards that I've got to educate people, talking about women weren't allowed to do gymnastics early on, and it was because of the choice of a few people that women were now allowed to do gymnastics. Spotting belts that we don't really use very much anymore. People don't know about these things. We've all got the pins. Girls used to do parallel bars. They used to do the Swedish boombox. Their beams used to go up to 8 feet high. Girls used to swing on pommel horse and high bar. Girls used to get on rings and do things. Gymnastics was an outdoor sport. There was no gymnasiums. All competitions were held in stadiums. This is Sokol Floresville Gymnastics Club. This is in 1920. There's a girl on the pommel horse, a girl on the ring, a girl on the parallel bars, and there's guys, and this is a boom that was made for all the apparatus. The Sokol organization was one of the founding organizations for gymnastics with their immigrants over to the United States. Those Sokols have their big festivals here in the United States, and this is that Straw Hall Stadium, and big posters, and a lot of people were proud to become free and engage themselves in making their body beautiful and physical. I have some displays, and I have a lot more than this. This is just one little display talking about Laddie Bakanik, who is a 1948 Olympian. As we walk around here, the word Sokol means falcon. And so you see the falcon there. And they named the falcon, they named the organization Sokol because the falcon was a brisk, brave, and acrobatic bird. And they wanted the people to be brisk and brave. This gives information about Sokol Fort Worth. There's more pictures here of things. I have a wanted poster for people to let me know if they have any old apparatus that they're throwing away, so that I can get some more apparatus to show people. This is an area that I have that's who's who in gymnastics history. You look at these pictures and try to test yourself to see how knowledgeable you are, and then you can always check and see if you were right. It tells the story of our first Olympian who was a gold medal in gymnastics, and that was Frank Priz from Sokol, New York. They used to have to jump off a board with no springs, go over a high jump bar, go over the long horse, and that's how they did vault. So the evolution of the sport has changed so much. This is a section that I call the history of USA Gymnastics. It tells how the USA Gymnastics and USGF was formed. USGF is United States Gymnastics Federation. And it came from the AAU. The AAU had a program, but a lot of people didn't like the way they were doing things and organizing things. So the USGF was founded. And Frank Bear was the first CEO of the USGF. And Madam Phi, Jackie Phi, was probably the most influential woman in gymnastics because she became the FIG technical president. And she made all the rules and governed all the people in all the competitions. Our first gymnastics competition, major international competition, was the World Gymnastics Championships in Fort Worth in 1979. And that was the first time the World Championships were ever held outside of Europe. I have some other costumes and uniforms, and we're back to the beginning again.